Hi, I'm Chuck Donnelly, co-founder and CEO of RockStep Solutions.
And I'm Julie Morrison, co-founder and executive vice president. We are thrilled to be here with you guys tonight, but we're actually going to get serious for a minute.
So my mom, Gladys, died waiting for a cure. And when we first found out that she had an illness, we thought there would be a cure soon.
And my father-in-law, Bruce, pictured here on our annual family golfing trip, just recently found out that within the next 5 years, he has a high chance of developing Alzheimer's. And there's not much he can do but wait for the eventuality of cognitive decline. And it really got us thinking, why?
Well, the reason why is drug discovery, drug development costs $2.5 billion per FDA approval on average. And it takes 10 to 15 years to actually get a single drug through the FDA process. And it's actually even billions of dollars more than that to take drugs into the market. And small mistakes early on in drug discovery can metastasize into billion-dollar problems, or worse, if those drugs get into human clinical trials. So preclinical drug discovery is in a state of data chaos. And this data chaos actually oftentimes leads the wrong drugs forward in the drug discovery pipeline and leaves potential cures sitting in piles of spreadsheets. And in fact, tier 1 pharmaceutical companies that we're working with actually have petabytes of data. And they know that in those petabytes of data, they have cures, but they don't have the tools to actually find the cures. And the problem with the tools that are out there, the competition, they actually are the problem themselves. And in fact, spreadsheets, which are one of the most common tools in biomedical research, are like cockroaches of biomedical data. They crawl all over the internet and in your email box and through security holes. And the big legacy systems that are out there, the big tools that have been in use for years, are hard to use. They're hard to maintain. They're expensive to maintain. And they have a very high barrier of adoption.
So enter our solution, Climb. Climb helps drug companies fail fast, only advancing the right clinical candidates into clinical trials. Climb is a cloud informatics platform for in vivo preclinical research, for study design, data collection, and aggregation, bringing order to lab chaos and really helping solve this problem of data chaos. And one of our sponsor at a biopharma, tier 1 biopharma, actually positioned us best when he told his leadership, Climb is at the heart of our digitalization strategy.
So the market opportunity for Climb is enormous. And in fact, last year alone, in Europe and the US, over 100 drugs were approved for market use. And each one of those drugs represents approximately $189 million worth of preclinical testing. And if you do the math, that comes out to about a $20 billion total addressable market. And with just a few percent of that market spend being invested in informatics tools, we calculate that there's a minimum of a $600 million serviceable addressable market for our product.
So today, we are proud to announce that Climb is in use at over 30 institutions, including the lab of a Nobel laureate. Anyone ever hear of mad cow disease? That's him. We have recently signed contracts with Decibel and Denali Therapeutics. And we have a signed contract with Novartis, where we are working on plans for global deployments. Our ARR is increasing rapidly. Last year, we booked $70,000 in ARR. And already in the first 6 months of this year, we have $190,000 of ARR bookings. And we are on track to grow to $1.5 million in ARR in the next 12 months.
And we have a world-class team. I love this slide. This team, we're backed by the National Institutes of Health. And this team that we bring to this market has background in global pharmaceutical companies and global and world-class research organizations like the Jackson Lab, where I was director of computational science for over a decade. And organizations like Novartis and Biogen, where our board chairman was the CIO.
So we've already raised $2.5 million to build our product. And over $2 million of that is in non-dilutive grant financing. We've established our product, and we have a unique market. And we are now raising funds. We are now raising funds to help us scale our growth as we execute on these global pharma deployments and to continue marching through the biotech industry to create immediate recurring revenue. We have an open $750,000 convertible note. You can see us after to get the terms. So imagine a world where people like Bruce don't have to wait for a cure, and people like Gladys don't die waiting for treatment. If you can imagine that world, then we'd love to have you join us to help us disrupt, transform, and dominate this industry. Who's ready to join us?